LiteBox ideas for early learners.
Hey everybody, so I wanted to just show some ideas on using the LiteBox. I think it's a really great tool for visually impaired students. So I have my LiteBox surface here, ignore my messy desk. So I have some plexi kind of see-through objects that come from American Printing House for the Blind that we really use a lot, but I'm also going to show you how to use some everyday objects as well. So when we're using our LiteBox, what we love about it is that it really just makes things pop. So when we have these see-through items, when we put them on the table, just really brightens everything up. And I hope my camera is showing that. So in this situation, this is for easy grabbing for our students who have some issues with fine motor. But I'll say, okay, can you pick the red for me? Can you pick up the red? And I have the student pick up the red. Or what color is above? What color is above? What color is below? How many items do we have? Things of that nature. So just a lot of different, we can do colors, we can do counting. I'll show you some shape ideas. Sorry for my reach. Where's our square? Which one is our square? Oh, here's our square. It's got 4 equal sides. Things of that nature. Where's our cube? We have a cube. So just putting down things on the surface and it makes it pop. So I could do some counting. I can do some identifying colors. Which one's red? Okay, how many red do we have? How many red do we have? I also put some cups down. These happen to be kind of glowy cups, but it can be really any kind of cup, anything like that. And just have them place everything in the cup. Okay, can you put the red items into the cup? Red items into the cup. So we're working on color, we're working on fine motor skills, we're working on counting, identifying colors, all sorts of fun things like that. I could do something as simple as bigger, smaller. Which one's bigger? Which one's smaller? So any of these fun little activities, you can really just get creative and work on colors. You can really work on counting objects. In fact, I'm going to show you some counting with, I just have pennies. But what I love about the LiteBox is that it really makes the contrast pop. And what I love about pennies as well is that you can move them around really easily on the LiteBox. You don't have to pick them up or anything like that. They can just move around. So if I want to do any separation, I'll use something like a ruler or just a piece of tape if I want to separate anything or make some barriers. This is just a simple piece of tape. So I can say, how many pennies are on the left-hand side? How many pennies are on the right-hand side? You can even do this for math. Is this if this was a decimal point or anything like that. So you can really just, and then you can just take the tape off, move it around, have different kind of separations that you want. Again, just anything pops on this LiteBox, which is fantastic. So the pennies, they move around really easily. Pennies are always good on top of the LiteBox. Another thing I might do with the LiteBox is some tracing. Now, this is a really wonderful thing to use for the LiteBox. So I just have a name on a white piece of paper. But if I put a white piece of paper on top, it really is great for tracing. Most LiteBoxes have an adjustment for the light. lighter, darker, but this is really great for tracing. And so you can have the paper on top and just have them trace. Also, another thing I like to do is to create shapes. I am using an Uno card and I'm just putting it on the light box with a piece of paper on top. So then it's just really easy to trace a shape. So anything underneath, it can be any shape you want. It can be any materials. We can use really anything from the classroom to put on the light box and it'll come out good. So I love to do that as well. So really great for tracing, for names, for shapes. I also just have some interesting objects that I might put on here for identification. So like, for example, here's just a toothbrush, but it's really nice because the toothbrush might be a little bit hard to see with the color that it is, but it really makes it a nice high contrast. Again, you can adjust the lighting. I also have some just baking items that I put on here. I can talk about color or what they are. I mean, these are just everyday items. So, okay, which one's green? Pick up the green. How many are blue? Whatever the case may be, whatever exercise you're doing or whatever you're working on for your students. And having the items, it's just very good contrast, easy to pick up. They just really pop on top of the light box. So this, I'm a Lego fan and I love Lego on a light box because the characters and everything we do just really look great on top of the light box. So if you have any students that are into Legos or doing some work with the Legos, again, it just really pops on top of the light box, or any kind of figurines, anything like that. It's just fun to be able to build. It's fun to be able to draw with paper on top of the light box. It just is, it makes for a fun experience and for everyone in the class, not just visually impaired, but anyone in the class. So you can just put everyday objects down and create a story or just see what happens when you put things on here. So it's really a nice high contrast adjustment of the light. Yeah, it's really, really bright. But just a lot of matching, counting, colors, categories, fine motor skills, working with OT on that. Anything would be really fun using the light box. So I just wanted to share a couple ideas, maybe get the ball rolling, because you know, if you haven't used it and you're like, okay, what am I doing with this? There's a little golf ball. But I hope that helps a little bit, and I hope you enjoy the light box.
CATT, Center for Assistive Technology Training Northwest.
The contents of this video were developed through a partnership with the American Printing House of the Blind, APH. CATT Northwest is based at the Washington State School for the Blind, WSSB. Logos, WSSB and APH. The contents of this video were developed under a contract authorized by the Department of Education. However, these contents do not necessarily represent the policy of the Department of Education, and you should not assume endorsement by the federal government.